That should be sufficient, yes? I don't suppose that messing about with it anymore will make any difference at all. Now you're quite certain that there's going to be orange marmalade at the end of this?
Yes, Percival, you'll get your marmalade. Yeah, he promised that you could have the marmalade. Just get on with it.
Very well. Good evening. My name is Percival. I'm one of a pair in this system. Myself and Nigel, my significant other, and significant pain in my posterior. I'm the more intelligent of the pair, obviously the neater, and I would seem to keep that role for the most part. We're not entirely sure what my role in the system is, but I am here. My partner and I have been waiting patiently, and, well, I'm not quite sure what else to say. Do please excuse the uhs and the ums that creep into my speech. I'm afraid that this body has become quite accustomed to an entirely different vocal pattern and way of thought. I've been dormant for quite a long time, you see. I had thought to bring a spot of poetry, but the others didn't think that it would be appropriate. Do please tell me if you think that you would like to hear me read a bit of poetry, perhaps a bit of Dickens, anything that might tickle your fancy, really. Some have said that I have a nice, pleasing voice. Hopefully that's still the case after all of these years. Regardless, I am Percival, and it was a pleasure to meet you all. I look forward to talking with you and hopefully sharing some literature in the future. Now, how do I turn it off? Is it this one? On further reflection, I decided that dash it all, I'm going to read to you anyway. So, a little bit from Mr. Lovecraft. In the valley of Nice, the accursed waning moon shines thinly, tearing a path for its light with feeble horns through the lethal foliage of the great Apus tree. And within the depths of the valley, where the light reaches not, move forms not meant to be beheld. Rank is the herbage on each slope, where evil vines and creeping plants crawl amidst the stores of ruined palaces, twining tightly about broken columns and strange monoliths, and heaving up marble pavements laid by forgotten hands. And in trees that grow gigantic in crumbling courtyards leap little apes, while in and out of the deep treasure vaults rise poisoned serpents and scaly things without a name. Vast are the stones which sleep beneath coverlets of dank moss, and mighty were the walls from which they fell. For all time did their builders erect them, and in sooth they serve yet nobly, for beneath them the grey toad makes his habitation. At the very bottom of the valley lies the river Thon, whose waters are slimy and filled with weeds. From hidden springs it rises, and to subterranean grottos it flows, so that the daemon of the valley knows not why its waters are red, nor whither they are bound. The genie that haunts the moonbeams spake to the daemon of the valley, saying, I am old, and forget much. Tell me the deeds and the aspect and the name of those who built these things of stone. And the daemon replied, I am memory, and am wise in the lore of the past, but I too am old. These beings were like the waters of the river Thon, not to be understood. Their deeds I recall not, for they were but of the moment. Their aspect I recall dimly. It was like that to the little apes in the trees. Their name I recall clearly, for it rhymed with that of the river. These beings of yesterday were called man. So the genie flew back to the thin-horned moon, and the daemon looked intently at a little ape in a tree in a crumbling courtyard. Memory by H.P. Lovecraft. I've been Percival. Good evening to you all.